Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations for BNI Arizona. And each week I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday. That counts as one chapter education unit for watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's edition of Wisdom Wednesday. Super excited to have you all tuning in. As a reminder, guys, I have moved all of the old videos to our YouTube page. I will post the link again in the chat of the YouTube page, so that way you can all check out the older videos, because after 30 days, they will be deleted by Facebook. So I will migrate all of them moving forward over to the YouTube page, but I will post them here first, so that way everyone can get connected. And if you want to share the links for the video, the YouTube link may be the easiest one to share of them all. We are still in the midst of member extravaganza, guys. We have 10 days left of extravaganza. So what that means, it means any new member that applies to your chapter or to any chapter, if you personally sponsor them, meaning you've invited them to BNI. Personally sponsoring them does not mean that you have to pay for them. It just means that you've invited them to BNI. And so if one of the applicants that you've personally sponsored submits their application before May 31st, now our membership committees will have 2 weeks to vet those applications after the 31st, so they don't have to be approved by the 31st to qualify for extravaganza, but their application does need to be submitted by May 31st. The application date is so crucial because member extravaganza, it counts from April 1st through May 31st. Super important. So, if you sponsor one new member, your name's going to be put into the $250 cash raffle. If you sponsor two, it's the $500 cash raffle. If you sponsor three, it's a $1,000 cash raffle. Everything above the three is an additional entry into the $1,000 bucket. We already have at least one member that has already hit the three. Really, really exciting. So I will be sending out an update later this afternoon as far as where everyone stands, as far as the new members that have come into BNI during extravaganza, who their sponsor is, so that way you guys can check to make sure that you get credit for those amazing people that you've sponsored into BNI. I always want to make sure that everyone gets their credit for those that they have sponsored. A lot of times what happens is if you don't see your name, the person who submitted the application may have not have included your name on the application as far as who invited them. So we always want to make sure to get the system updated. And great news is it's super easy to update the system. You can also check, outside of the member extravaganza time, if you want to check to see in the system who it shows that you've personally sponsored into BNI for the lifetime of BNI, you can go into BNI Connect and click on reports, and under chapter reports, there is a report called the sponsor report. You can pick a date back as far back as when you first joined BNI, and then when you look at that list, it'll tell you everyone that you have sponsored through the lifetime of BNI. So if you were in multiple chapters, it'll give you that whole list. It carries with you throughout your whole BNI journey, which is really exciting. So I would highly recommend checking that sponsor list, check to see all the names that are listed under your name, because we also have different clubs within BNI Arizona. We've got the Gold, Platinum, and Titanium Club, which will give members extra visibility and also recognition. And throughout the year, we do some special events for those club members as well. So Gold Club is if you sponsor 6 or more new members through your lifetime of BNI. Platinum is if you sponsor 15 or more. And then Titanium is if you sponsor 30 or more new members into BNI. So again, guys, make sure that you're checking out that report. Another big thing that we rolled out this month, I touched on a little bit on one of the previous Wisdom Wednesdays, but Member Success Program training. We have completely revamped the training, and because we want to create more value, especially for our new members that are coming into BNI, we now have a weekly offering of Member Success Program training, which is huge, except for holiday week, so we don't have one next week. But we had 2 on Monday. We had our very first ever Spanish speaking member success program training, the first ever for our BNI Arizona region. So we are definitely just moving up, innovating like crazy, which is really, really exciting. And so we will have more Spanish speaking member success program training offerings coming up. But check out the BNI Arizona calendar. So if you go to bniarizona.com, that's our main hub where you can find everything. If you click on the calendar link, you'll be able to see all of the dates for our upcoming member success program trainings. So for you leadership team members, make sure that if you go to the training report in BNI Connect that all members have completed their member success program training. And if not, direct them to the calendar to check out one of the incredible new training dates that are on the calendar. Before, we used to only offer it monthly, but now we want to be able to onboard new members a lot faster so that way they can see the value of BNI through knowing how to really get themselves set up for success. That member success program training is huge. And if you're a seasoned member, if you're on leadership team or mentor, any of the roles, I highly recommend going back through member success program training. It's a lot of amazing information, a lot of tools and resources that we're providing you to really help you maximize your BNI experience. So everyone, I highly recommend this training for everyone, especially since it's revamped information. We're calling it Member Success Program 2.0. It's all the same fundamentals for new members coming into BNI, so it's not like an advanced training. Stay tuned, because that will be coming up soon. But the 2.0, it's still the same as Member Success Program. It's just revamped information. So we want to make sure to get everyone through it. And the cool thing is you will also be able to meet some amazing members from all around town. I know that on one of the sessions on Monday, I kind of jumped in for a little bit, and there were a lot of seasoned members in that session, which is incredible. Those that have been in BNI for over 10 years. You can always learn something new in those member success program trainings. So again, I highly recommend it for every single person. It's not just for new members. I think over the 15 years, I've probably attended over 10 times. And I always caught a little extra nugget of information that I could implement into what I was doing in BNI, but also into my own business. So a lot of the information that you learn within BNI can also benefit your business. I love the saying that Bill Bonnell from BNI Business Leaders of North Scottsdale always said, what's good for your business is good for BNI, and what's good for BNI is good for your business. It's so, so true. So learn as much as you can. Go through these member success program trainings. Go in Business Builder. There's so many different courses on all different topics. If you have a question about anything, check it out in BNI Business Builder. There's also a lot of podcasts. So my favorite is the Power of One podcast. There's also a BNI official podcast from Dr. Ivan Misner. So there's a lot of different resources. You want to make sure to tap into all of those. Not only Business Builder, the podcast, these Wisdom Wednesdays, but also if you go to the calendar, it will also tell you about the weekly speed networking event that is available. It's on every Tuesday. If you go to the calendar, if you're looking to connect with members cross-state, this is a perfect opportunity for you to check out this event. So it's every Tuesday afternoon. You can go right to the BNI Arizona calendar to register and sign up. I've heard a lot of amazing stories that members have attended, met some great power partners, had some great passing of referrals back and forth cross-state. So you never know who you're going to meet. So if you would love the opportunity to meet some incredible members cross-state, feel free to check it out. And if you haven't already started to kind of visit other chapters around Arizona, currently for BNI Arizona, we have 85 chapters around the valley. That's a huge opportunity to build relationships with business professionals all over town. So if you're not taking advantage of visiting other chapters and exploring outside your own chapter, I highly, highly recommend it. Pick a day or time. One of the things that was really helpful for me is when I had a slow day, I would go to the BNI Arizona website, clicked on chapters, viewed the whole list, and then you can sort it by day, time, location. So if I had an opening, I I would check to see if there was a chapter that met on that same day and time, if I could fit it into my schedule, so that way I could maximize on my time to build more visibility for me and my business. So as a BNI member, you can visit any chapter and give your presentation, if your category is not full, 2 times per BNI year. Now, this is the same for visitors, guys. Visitors can visit the chapter 2 times before deciding to submit an application. Same goes for substitutes, guys. For giving a weekly presentation, substitutes can only give a presentation about their own business 2 times per BNI year. That's it. 2 times per BNI year. So I want to make sure that that is consistent across the board. That hasn't changed. There are just some chapters that are a little bit more lenient, but I will say that it will stunt a chapter's growth if they are too flexible with that rule. So I highly encourage chapters to make sure that they are only allowing BNI members, substitutes, visitors to give their presentation 2 times per BNI year. So the only exception to this is if a visitor submits their application to join, then they can continue to give a presentation every week until their application has been decided on. That's the only exception. So 2 times per BNI year, and we say BNI year, so it's from October to the end of September. So we've got a couple more months till the end of this BNI year, and the reason why that makes it easier is because then it's during a certain leadership team shift. So every year we have a leadership transition in October of every year. So when we have the 2 visits, 2 presentations per BNI year for visitors, BNI members, all of that, it's easier to do it per BNI year. So that way the leadership team knows how many times those specific people spoke while they were under leadership. So make sure, guys, that we are keeping up to that. And speaking of leadership transition, in a couple weeks, guys, we will be sending out the nomination forms. Can you believe it? It's already here. So on June 9th, Monday, June 9th, I'll be sending out the nomination forms for you to submit who you nominate would make the best next president, vice president, secretary, treasurer for your chapters, and the reason why, and selecting the top 3 roles that you personally want to help support your chapter in. Within that email that I'm going to send the link in, it'll have a document that will have a description of all the roles. So if you're brand new to BNI and you have no clue what's involved in any of the different leadership or support team roles, 1, you can definitely ask your leadership team members for more questions, but 2, you can check out the document that I'm going to send to everyone, and that way you can see what you would feel the most passionate in helping support your chapter, because every single member can have a role, and it really does take a team effort to create ongoing success for every chapter. But when it comes to those leadership team roles, it's important to make sure that we have a clean sweep with the leadership team to where we have new leaders coming on board year after year, so that way we can help level up everyone in the chapter. If we just rotate through the same people, we're not giving an opportunity for other members in the chapter to level up. So we always want to make sure that we're leveling everyone up as much as possible, because being in a leadership and support team role, it'll help, 1, create more visibility and credibility for you and your business, but it'll also create a lot of great personal growth. Whether it's personal leadership growth or just personal growth in general. I know that I've participated in literally every role except for secretary treasurer, in the chapters over the years. And it's funny because I started out as a visitor host, then went to membership committee, then went to vice president. And I was like, I'll never be president because I don't want to run the meeting. Next year they asked me to be president. I was like, I always said yes to different opportunities. And so I said yes. So it's funny how different opportunities may present themselves. And if I wouldn't have said yes, I wouldn't have had that personal growth. So I encourage you to explore new opportunities when it comes to this upcoming year's leadership and support team transition, and maybe push yourself a little bit. Go outside the box so that way you can have that little level up in personal and professional growth, per se. So if it's scary, that might be the best decision for you, right? So push yourself a little bit over this next year. And if someone sees something in you and asks you to be in a specific role, they obviously know that you would be amazing in that role. So I'm thanking you all in advance for one, submitting your nomination forms once they come out. Please read your emails. So submit your nominations. Once the nominations come in, then I connect with each of the chapter's leadership teams and directors so that way we can help kind of evaluate all the nominations. Please make sure that you're not rallying members to nominate you, because the person with the most nominations does not automatically get the spot. So it's not like voting, so where the person with the most votes gets a spot. It's just providing feedback to the leadership teams of what the chapter is feeling and who they really see taking the chapter to the next level. And sometimes it takes those members providing all of that feedback to have someone like come out of the woodwork per se. Like, you never know who other members are seeing in a great way. So it's always finding those diamonds that will help take the chapter to the next level. And maybe it's someone you didn't even know that would be amazing in the role. If you have any questions as things progress, let me know. It's going to be an exciting time, because once extravaganza stops, then leadership transition begins. It's going to be great. So really, really excited. We always want to make sure that we're maintaining the momentum through the end of the year, guys. Even though we're talking about transition, you want to end the year with a bang, not a burp. So we always want to make sure that we're continuing in our current roles, thriving, and making sure that our chapters are in an upswing, so that way when the new leadership team takes over, they can continue that trend and just keep going up from there. So I appreciate all of you for tuning in today. And as always, make sure to log one, Chapter Education Unit, for watching. Make sure to go check out the BNI Arizona calendar. Go sign up for one of the new Member Success Program Training 2.0 sessions. Going to be great. Again, it's offered weekly now. Weekly. So great. So make sure that new members know where to go to get signed up. Super important. So BNIArizona.com, click on the calendar link, go in your BNI Connect app, and log one Chapter Education Unit for today. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you all next week. And I hope you all have an amazing Memorial Day holiday. Have a great one.